The first question was we had to prove that f of x equals something. That's basically do the taking away sum. So put it over a common denominator. I won't go through them all in full, just the first one for now. What do you have to times that 2 by? 2x plus 1. Over here, don't times that by anything. So on the top I've got 4x plus 2 minus 14. I've got those brackets on the bottom, so that is the same as 4x plus 12 over those brackets. Minus 12, thank you. Okay. One of those brackets is an x minus 3. I can factorise the top, it's 4 into x minus 3. So now, an x minus 3 there and there will cancel, and I'm left with 4 over 2x plus 1, which is what I had to get to. Are we all okay with that? Next thing, find the range of f. So the range of f of x Any comments for the range? We were told at the beginning, and I didn't write it down, that x was always greater than 3. When will you get the minimum value of x? When is f at its minimum? When x is 3, yeah. When x is 3, the function will be at its minimum. Because as x gets bigger... Is that right?
The bigger x gets, the smaller x gets.
Yes, so it's got the other way around. We need to look at to see what does happen at 3. When x is 3, we're going to get 4 over 2 lots of 3 plus 1, which is 4/7. As x increases, what happens to this number here?
Decrease.
Yeah, so I need to change that, don't I? To its maximum then. So the range is f can be anything underneath 4/7. Okay? Now you said or equal to. I'm looking at the question. It didn't have an extra thing there, so I'm not going to have one here. Okay? Okay, next bit. We've got to find the inverse function. We mentioned about this one the other day. That's the function we're dealing with. Swap the x's and y's. And then rearrange it. So I'm making that 2 over x minus a half. Okay. Just by rearranging. Did that very quickly. Any questions about that?
Well, that is right.
Yes, if it's on the board, it's not always right, but in that case it is, because I've checked all the answers.
4 over 2x minus a half.
Okay. Finally, the range of that function. Okay. We've got a function, f of x, and we have an inverse function. We want to know the range of this function. We were told at the start, what word am I going to write down here? What word am I starting to write down here? The domain. We were told to start with the domain of the first function. The function we started with was x is greater than 3. And because we switched over, and this is the inverse function, that domain will be the range of the inverse function, because they sort of flip over in their inverses. So the range of that function is that one. So if we just go through and mark that very quickly. Part A, getting the algebra done for here, that was worth 4 marks. The range here is worth 2 marks. So that was that answer there. Sorry, that was the answer there. Getting this thing down here was worth 3 marks. And then there's another mark down here, which should make 10 for that question. Okay. Question 2, I'm not going to run through, I'm just going to show you the mark scheme and just mention a few things. Any questions, queries about question 1? Question 2, which is this one here. Okay, for question 2. The common denominator, you need a y plus 1, a y plus 7 and a y plus 8. 3 things there. Then you're sort of cross multiplying, but you've already included some things. If you say what is in the bottom fraction on my right here that is not on the bottom there, it's a y plus 8. So the top thing, that y plus 8, has to be times by another y plus 8, which is why there's a squared there. Comparing this fraction's bottom bit and that one, what is missing is a y plus 1. So the top thing has to be times by a y plus 1. They've expanded the brackets, they've simplified, they've cut the bottom the same, they have an answer, and they've given 5 marks, and they've split it like that. Okay? Any questions, any queries about that question? Question 3. What did you have to spot about question 3? And if you didn't spot it, you'd be stuffed. Difference of 2 squares. Yeah, here. That is x squared take away 5 squared. So it's x plus 5, x minus 5. So first of all, they've just rewritten the question. I'll get that so you can see it. You've just rewritten the question as that. The common denominator will be an x plus 3 bracket, an x plus 5 bracket, and an x minus 5 bracket. So to be over 3 bits. They've done it, they've played through the algebra, they've got an answer at the end. There are the marks they have. So that's 6 altogether. 1 mark is just basically for the difference of 2 squares. Then by the time they've got down to here, they've awarded another 2 marks for doing stuff there. They've awarded another 1 mark for doing stuff there. And then a method mark and an answer mark for the very end, which made that one be out of 6. How many people got 6 marks on that one? Okay, that's encouraging. Good. Okay. Are we happy to move on to the next one quickly? The next question. It's a difference of 2 squares. It's the same difference of 2 squares. This is a 7-mark question. A mark for expanding difference of 2 squares. 2 marks in that bit. 2 marks in that block. 2 marks at the end, which means that's out of 7. Okay. Are we happy with that answer? Now you've seen that one? Okay, Fraser's nodding, Gavin's nodding. And if I turn over again, the next question was one I was going to go through with you. Question was, find the remainder when something is divided by something. I said last lesson, this is to do with the remainder theorem. I'm going to call the function here f of x. How do I find the remainder if it's divided by that? Where does minus an eighth come from?
8x plus 1 equals 0.
Yeah. You put that equals 0, you solve that equation, which gives you minus an eighth. You stick that into the function, so you do f of minus an eighth. That tells you what the remainder is. Ian, what do you get for that?
Minus 75.
Is correct. Okay? And there are 2 marks for getting that. So if you stick an eighth in the function, that is what you get. Then they ask you to simplify it. What have you got to spot in order to simplify that? Difference in 2 squares again. Yep. So I'll just plonk the answer on here. The bottom bit is this bit underneath the line. They gave 2 marks for that line, 1 mark for that line.
So 5 marks overall.
So there were 2 marks for there. That was a 5-mark question. So we had question 1 was out of 10. Question 2 was out of 5. Then it was out of 6. Then it was out of 7. Then it was out of 5, which I reckon is 33. So there are the marks. Okay, I think it's out of 33. Can we times it by 3 and add on 1 and call that a percentage? So if you times your mark by 3 and add on 1, we'll call that a percentage. Okay? Because that means if you got full marks, you got 100%. But otherwise, the maximum mark's going to... Well, it's just easy, isn't it? Okay, there we go. So, if you could let me at the end have, please, your work folded like last time with your name and your percent, that'll be really helpful.